We have a daughter, Reagan, who is 23. She was born with something called pachygyria. And so they told us that, her life is going to be tough. Our first diagnosis said no walking, no talking. We've knocked that ball out of the park. So she walks, she talks, she's got a big, huge personality.
Go, Lauren. Come on, Lauren.
And anybody that meets her,
are you okay?
She remembers them for the rest of her life. She's got a great memory. And we got waiver services approximately 4.5, 5 years ago. Before waiver came along, I was the go-to person. I had to help her with her day-to-day activities, dressing, showering, brushing teeth. She could not do any of those things that we take for granted that we do independently. I worked part-time because I could not physically work a full-time job, do everything I needed to do for Reagan. So when we got waiver services, I was able to start giving some of those tasks to the waiver person that Reagan works with. And so that freed me up to have more time to do other things and pursue other things. And so I was able to get a job working full-time that I really love and enjoy. So I'm not just Reagan's mom, now I'm a teacher. I'm Mrs. Reeves, and I teach math, and I love on my babies every day and encourage them, and I'm able to have another, something that I wasn't getting to do before. So it's been very fulfilling and rewarding. So she goes to Civitan 3 days a week, and she spends the other 2 days with her waiver worker. They have different classes. She gets her therapy there, OT and PT at Civitan, so that's taken care of during the day.
This month.
She's made a lot of friends at Civitan.
High five. Big high five. Yeah, hard. Oh!
It's given her a lot more independence to go to Civitan because now she has friends that she talks to in the evenings on her iPad. They FaceTime. She's made some good connections there.
Go, Lauren.
So in 5 years, she's graduated high school, gone to Civitan, all with her waiver person, and just done phenomenal. We've seen a lot of changes for the better in Reagan.
Today, I'm announcing a plan to provide services to everyone that is currently on the waiting list.
When the governor announced that he was going to be able to have funding for all the families that are on the wait list, that was a huge deal. Those families I know have been waiting. We waited 9 years. I know those families have been waiting a very long time as well.
The services on these waivers change people's lives.
And I just would say to the governor, thank you for your work that you're doing through and funding for waiver services, because it is changing families for the better.
This is an issue that has been talked about constantly at the Capitol, trying to find some solution. It involved money, though. You have to have the money to be able to provide those services. We had a surplus, and the surplus has made it a lot easier to find $37 million in our budget to apply towards meeting this goal.
This is a win-win. It's a tremendous thing. The governor, I applaud the governor. This is one of those deals that austerity, budgeting conservatively, it allowed us to take general revenue dollars to match to get the federal funds to accomplish this. And I know this is a godsend to these families that have been on this waiting list, some of them over 10 years.
I do believe that as a state that we prioritize taking care of people with disabilities. I do believe that we want to take care of our most vulnerable and offer as much help as we can and give them as much independence as we can.
And I'm sure there'll be other people that I know from other states be calling me and saying, hey, Jack, how did you guys do this in Arkansas? I've had that happen a couple of times already in some of the stuff that we've done when I went to national meetings, because we've done a lot of good things. We really have.
Everybody who was on that waiver waiting list in December will eventually receive services. Now that doesn't mean that's going to happen tomorrow, because we just passed the budget. Don't expect that to happen in the next week or so. It will take time, but we made a huge step forward.
I believe, and others have said, that they think we can clear the list within 3 years. 3 years would be the longest. But there's a lot of work to be done in those 3 years.
And I would say to the families, hang in there, keep doing what you're doing, keep celebrating small accomplishments, keep going forward, and keep believing, because this has made our home life so much better, having that extra help.
One other thing, we talk about clearing the list. That don't mean that there's not going to be anybody on the list, because once we clear these people off, there will be those folks out there that haven't applied because it was so long a wait that will apply. So there's always going to be a list, but hopefully we can keep it down to a reasonable time frame.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
But my whole life has been taking care of Reagan from the day she came home. And I've pushed her. We have pushed her and pushed her and pushed her to be the best that she can be. And I felt like some days I was pushing a boulder uphill.
Did you have a good day?
Yeah.
But now that I have waiver services, I can come here, I can do my job and feel like I don't have to worry about Reagan. I know she's being taken care of. I'm doing all the things. I'm going out with my husband to dinner with friends. I'm teaching again, spending time in a classroom and doing things that I was trained to do, things that are, you know, close to my heart. Not that I stopped being Reagan's mama. I'm still Reagan's mom, that she's still, you know, a high priority, the priority. But now I can have other priorities and I can be myself again.